Hey, aloha my internet family. Welcome to the Practical Printing Channel. I'm Chris Russell and I'm going to be your host tonight. Tonight we're going to talk about, and it doesn't look like night, I know. But by the time this stuff's out there, it'll probably be night, and it's always night somewhere. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Tonight we're going to talk about the mini tripod that was created by a gentleman named Walter back in 2015. This file is available on Thingiverse, and the links will be down below in the description. Now, this is really good example of a practical print. It is a print in place. There's two different options for leg lengths depending on what you need to do, and there are three different heads available depending if you want to use a bolt and use it with a standard camera, or if you want to use the hot shoe mount to be able to put a microphone or a lighting element on it, or if you want to insert an 1/8" mini jack into it and use it with a cell phone or other device. So without any delay, we're going to jump into Simplify 3D, my slicer of choice, and I'll show you how I did this. Okay, we've got our models open in Simplify 3D. All we need to do now is take a look at our process settings. I'm going to go for about a 0.3 millimeter layer height, 4 top and bottom layers, and about 35% infill. We'll check our support and our temperatures, make sure everything is good. In this case, I am setting up for PETG. So it looks to be everything is there. We're going to slice it, and let's run through and make sure everything looks good for a print. And it looks like it's coming up okay on the emulation. So we're going to go from there and see what we have. Okay, we're going to drop our model into Octoprint. I use this to monitor Aussie and monitor all of my prints. Once it's there, we can hit load to get the print started, verify it's there, and go over and look and make sure the temperatures start climbing. Hey, welcome back. I told you that would be quick, and I also said it would be night outside by the time we got through this thing. That was a long print. Not 2 days long, but it took a couple of hours. I'm going to start off by showing you the print-in-place legs. They come out like that. There's a ball joint right there on each side, and just a little motion, they snap open. Takes a little bit of pressure the first time, and you have your base. You've also got the hot shoe mount and the standard camera mount. Now the standard camera mount has, if you can see it there, a hex shape in the middle that you can put another bolt up through, and that would screw and attach to your camera. Unfortunately, my cat's got the ball as soon as it came off the printer, and it's ended up under a couch or somewhere that I haven't been able to find. I do have the PETG model that is complete and assembled. That was the one that we sliced and dropped on Octopi together. You can loosen up the nut, and the camera pans and tilts and pivots each way. And once you get it where you want it, you have a nice, stable base for your desktop or however you'd like to use it. The reason I did it in both PETG and PLA was a little bit of an experiment. I know the PLA was a little bit more rigid, and I wanted to make sure that those joints were going to snap loose without breaking. I actually did print 2 of those, and the first one snapped into 3 pieces. What I realized there is if you are going to do it in PLA, you probably want to break that seal and break those loose right after it comes off of the printer rather than letting it sit overnight. That way it's still slightly worn and the plastic's a little bit pliable still. Okay, that is wrap for our first episode of Practical Printing. I hope you've enjoyed it. I do want to tell you that we are working on a follow-up website as well. That will be hosted by Paul Yanzik. And we're going to have written descriptions, write-ups for all of the videos that we post, along with some still pictures. And Paul's going to cover some other topics on there as well. And with that, I will leave the video on the way out with the time-lapse printed from the Octopi of the PETG print. And I wish everyone a good night.